time. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bosman. Joining us, as always, is the uniquely talented and knowledgeable panel. Sitting in the Brandon Jones seat is actually Elise Willems this week.
Hey, guys.
You're not Brandon
You
Jones.
seem nervous. You already
I'm
seem
always
nervous.
nervous.
Please don't be nervous. We're
me.
trying to...
No, I'm great. I'm glad to be here. Love Brandon Jones. Love GTA 5. So glad that you guys asked me to be here as the representative for that game. So
Just to be clear,
thank you.
that's how I said, like, please don't be nervous. You know, we have Brandon Jones because he loves GTA 5, and Elise took that literally. You don't have to love GTA 5 to be on the show to take that seat, but it does help.
Yeah.
Next to her, always correct 100% of the time, Daniel Bloodworth.
Is this a prediction? What happened?
That is a result of that.
More side bets, huh?
And then lastly, but not leastly, Michael Damiani.
Leastly. I like that. Someone who has never played GTA 5.
You've never played
Really?
GTA
I
5?
haven't either.
I have never touched
What's going on with you two?
I don't know.
We've already been through this, and I've been berated in the comments and such. So it's
I
okay.
don't think there's anything wrong with it, but you might surprise yourself.
Yeah, I have nothing against it. I just haven't played it yet.
Okay.
This is
It is a huge
just life.
game.
Life happens.
It's an investment to hop into that game. It's not a quick one. We should explain that the reason Brandon Jones is gone is that he is on jury duty for maybe 3 weeks.
Brandon Jones
he's
doling out justice.
Yeah.
For
That's
real.
what I was thinking about. At first I was like, oh man, that sucks. But then I was thinking, if I was ever in court, I would love for Brandon Jones to be on the jury.
If you look out and you see that hero face and it's
The
Brandon
giant
Jones,
chin,
all my fears would be just calmed.
Hero face.
No, I mean,
He does have a
He
hero
is
face.
The juror we deserve.
yes.
I'm glad that we got to have some laughs out of the way because our news this week is pretty grim news.
Grim.
Grim news. I don't know.
Okay, what's
To me-
What's
what are we
bugging you,
talking about?
Kyle?
What are we talking about?
What happened?
Facebook purchased Oculus for $2 billion.
April 1st is next week.
This is not April 1st yet. This was real news. This
I
is
know.
something that happened.
This is part of me that, like, you know,
What?
I'm representing the internet. Where
I don't
'cause
think this is anywhere near
I'm
an
the,
April
I'm the
Fool's
internet.
joke.
I'm the internet in human form, apparently.
Do you think Facebook and
that's-
Oculus Rift are going to troll you for a week? Is
Yes.
that what you're?
Yes.
Is that what you're
They're
surmising here?
they're doing that. I wouldn't put it past Mark Zuckerberg. I saw the film. I saw what he did at the beginning of that film. The
Yeah.
hot or not thing.
I don't know. I mean, if I am a rich tech geek
He's
and I could make virtual reality become reality, yeah, I think that's kind of just a no-brainer.
Why
but-
not, right? Yeah. So I'm assuming I'm assuming that by the time viewers and listeners are hearing this, this isn't the first they've heard of this news.
No.
By now, I feel like there's not much to say about it. Here's what I want to play. What good can come of this? Blood. What good could it come out of Facebook buying Oculus?
Well, I mean, from what I've read, it sounds like they're pretty on board with letting Oculus do their thing, at least for now in the development phase. So that means that they have stability. They have stability and they have resources to do whatever the crap they want.
Mm-hmm.
And they have John Carmack.
Yeah.
I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
He's still there. John Carmack's still there.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, that's kind of like, you know, if VR is going to be successful, it's going to be successful. I mean, there's pretty much nothing limiting them at this point.
Nothing Facebook could do to ruin VR.
I mean, there's things that Facebook could do
Yeah.
eventually, you know, with weirdo, like, sketchy, like, pervy applications. But, you know, as far as the development phase of technology, I think they're just going to, like, let it grow into what it is and let games kind of be the test bed and then move from there.
Blood, I'm very sorry, and I know that I was trying to start with some positivity, but I need you to be specific about what you have in mind when you say pervy application.
You see those dating games on Facebook?
No.
Am I the only one that gets ads for those all the time? I don't know what's up with
I
that.
don't see ads mostly.
Oh.
They just kind of
I just see
float
the
by.
singles ads or whatever on the side.
Yeah, is it
Like,
something
are
like
you
that?
single? Want to date a gamer? It's
I
like,
get ads for
okay,
things I've already
cool.
bought, so that doesn't make any sense.
I get like Japanese like dating game
Yeah.
ads on my
Okay.
Facebook.
I've seen
And then you
those.
would put on your Oculus and hop in?
I just,
Then it takes you to OK. It takes you to OkCupid at that point, and then you have nightmares.
On OkCupid?
Yes.
I don't think that's fair. OkCupid could be good.
No, it could be good, but Facebook was involved. It wouldn't be good.
Yeah, it's just, I think like, it's, so I want to read a comment actually. This is the comment I
Alright.
plucked from this week. It's from Captain Kirk on our
Holy
site.
crap!
Yeah,
from
dude.
The future.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is legit. He came back in time to say, and just like my hope for the future of gaming is swallowed by the coldest inhuman, demonic entity known to mankind. Facebook, such a waste. My takeaway from this is like, why is Facebook like perceived to be so evil?
Because it's gross.
I think it's Mark Zuckerberg, because people have this image of him now as this really cutthroat, like anything to get ahead kind of guy.
Damiani, what did you just whisper?
I said hot or not, it'll never go away.
So
I mean, I kind of had a similar initial reaction, and like, Facebook, what? That's weird.
They just have a tendency to like, look at what they do with like the just the front page of Facebook in your timeline. How many times they shift it around, how many times they don't tell you about it. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Like for the last several years, the privacy issues. They changed the privacy stuff. Then you see on like you see on your feed a bunch of people say, "Uh-oh, Facebook changed their privacy settings without warning anyone about these changes. Go in there now and please like change it to this if you want your old settings." Or people will say, all of a sudden, strangers are seeing my photos or seeing my comments because I commented on. That stuff's never been very transparent up front.
Yeah. Well, the way that they manipulate the feed as well, and like they're trying to. They're trying to do things to keep people from getting spammed, but I mean, it seems to work the opposite. It's like I sign up for a page because I want to know about updates about like people's shows or something like that, and then I don't see them because like, oh, they want people to pay to advertise to their fans, but their fans are actually wanting to find out what's going on, and so there's this weird like, I don't know, these blocks and how they want to manage things.
I'm just curious exactly what they're going to do with the technology, because for me, I really can't imagine what possibly I would want to be doing with an Oculus Rift on Facebook, or how they would harness that technology otherwise.
I mean, my perception of the most, basic application is, like,
games.
Well, I mean, games, but I mean, in terms of like Facebook would be, like a Skype call where, you've got some little robotic camera in the other room and you can like look around and say hi and whatever.
I guess.
This better not be Facebook games. I think
Facebook games, I think, are largely dead. I think they're making less money.
Well, look what they did with games. Like, I think at least from people who are a little bit more enthusiastic about gaming as a hobby, the backlash I think comes from Facebook, what they did with gaming, how it failed, and Facebook's attitude towards gaming in general. It's kind of lumped in with the whole social mobile gaming, and I think some people expected or still expect Oculus to deliver more. In whatever their minds, a more meaningful, quote-unquote, hardcore experience for my PC. It's going to be a new type of gaming and more immersive. It's not meant for these stupid, I don't want to play Farmville, Oculus Rift, or something like that.
So actually, coming off of that, I mean, Notch said that day, he said, actually, you know what? Minecraft is never going to be on Oculus now. Mm-hmm. At least, do you see more developers leaving Oculus because of how much Facebook creeps them out?
I think we're seeing the backlash now. My initial reaction to this was, what about all the people that kickstarted the Oculus Rift?
They feel hurt. It seems like largely they feel hurt.
Yeah, they feel hurt and they feel cheated because basically they've just helped propel these people to a $2 billion take, which they're not seeing anything of. I think like it's a business, and there will be more developers that will be drawn to it because now they'll think they have stronger promotion or a better platform maybe. But yeah, they'll lose, I think, some more of the older, more serious developers, I feel.
Okay, here's another weird application I just thought of. Is kind of going on another tangent.
Okay, you're pitching us on an application. I'm ready for this.
Okay,
What do you got?
Let's say, so right now, like somebody's just recently like put up pictures of their guest house, which is going to be available for rent, next week. Mm-hmm. It's hard to understand how much space is in that room from a bunch of pictures being taken from inside the room. But if you had like one of those little Google camera things, 360-degree camera, and you could just walk around the room and then put on a headset and then look at like, oh, okay, like I understand this in a like 3D space now. I understand how much room I have to work with, if my bed's gonna fit in there, and all that kind of thing.
No way, man. Scanning a 3D space is so hard.
You're relying on people to have that technology too, I feel. Like
you would need like 2 Google cams at all times, and that would take hours.
Maybe, but I mean, if it could just be simple,
You know what I want is the dust cameras you can blow, and then the cameras all that's like, I feel like that's so far ahead, that application. But if you want to call Zuckerberg and tell him you have an idea, I think you totally should.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure they've got plenty of ideas. That's
Actually,
why they bought it.
So speaking of that, yeah, because basically it seems like Facebook eventually is going to want this for non-gaming applications. Do you think like this adds more enthusiasm in the gaming space to Project Morpheus? That suddenly, okay, well, Oculus belongs to Facebook now. Is Morpheus, like, does that get more credit now, do you think?
I mean, I think immediately it does. Just looking at the reactions from people, a lot of the knee-jerk reactions have been, screw Facebook, I'm done with Oculus. Oh, thank God, there's Project Morpheus. You know, we're gonna get. Hopefully, Sony takes advantage of this, and there's another option essentially. And
Right.
now I think just the immediate reaction is people are looking to what is Sony gonna do now because of that.
Yeah.
There seems to be this backlash, whether or not they're gonna have like Oculus gonna have a negative image problem going forward, or if they correct it, they put out something like, hey guys, no, don't worry, Facebook's not touching us, we're just getting the money, this means we're more stable. Who knows what's going to happen with that, but Sony has this is kind of like when Sony and Microsoft unveiled the new consoles. This is a moment for Sony to kind of step in and tell developers, hey, we're Sony, we already have enough money, and we haven't been doing too well the last few years, but we still got money. We don't need an investment from Facebook to keep us stable. So, and you've seen what we've done with PS4, we see how we've been supporting all these game developers. We're going to give that level of support for Morpheus. So why don't you come over to us, hey Notch, you want to do like a Morpheus version of Minecraft for PS4? Let's get that worked out. I mean, that's been Sony's, they've been on the mark for that for the last year with their messaging. I think this is where they need to step in and put that message out. And I think developers will respond to that, especially game developers, because they've seen how receptive Sony has been to developers, especially independent developers who seem to be the ones who've been latching on to Oculus so much with the dev kits. But I mean, I'm not going to rule Oculus out, but that's what Morpheus should do.
I definitely feel like there's room to be a little worried about there being just like a PlayStation branded VR kit, just because it's like, okay, well, if you have the PlayStation one, then does that mean
it's only exclusive to
you can only
PlayStation
use it on
titles?
PlayStation?
Yeah.
Will they make it, will they open it up to be used for PC games? Will games have to create APIs to support both Morpheus and Oculus? It's kind of it does kind of open a can of worms to have a platform holder doing something of that magnitude, but it's interesting.
Right, but I think right now Morpheus might be in position to at least be the best-selling VR headset, in which case you would want to program for
I think
it.
they'll market it for serious gamers.
Serious gamers.
Sony, I like Mike was saying, I think Sony really likes to be able to have the opposing side to play off of, like they did with Microsoft, their whole trading video. They'll do their this is how you VR video now, and
You're so right. Yeah, they will do that.
First, I think it will be the serious gamers VR headset, hardcore gamers VR.
Don't get that Facebook one.
Seriously.
Doesn't it feel weird? It's just like
the VR headset wars. You get console wars.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
we go.
VR wars.
It's absolutely happening.
Titanfall 2 exclusively on Morpheus. Can't play it on Oculus Rift. Or they do a multi-platform versions like, oh, there's less frames per second on the Oculus Rift version, and Morpheus
Well, no,
runs
it's the
smooth,
opposite. I mean,
smooth 90
Well, the
frames
Metal
per
Gear
second.
comparison.
There are
Yeah.
people that are very concerned about the consoles being able to have enough power to run VR without issues. So.
right.
I'd be down for that. The threads on GAF about which VR headset runs games better and stuff. So it's no longer just your console running it on a TV screen, it's which one
It's
can
gonna
run
be
the VR.
such a mess.
Let me just say, this sounds cool. I'll probably try it out, but I'm still sticking with the normal controller, even if this becomes a thing.
That's what the question is.
This sounds exciting, but I'm just like, whenever it does come out, I'll try to be like, cool,
You get
whatever.
to keep your controller. You can still have your controller.
I don't want to do the headset stuff. I want to watch it
I
on a
see.
normal screen and stuff.
Cool.
Whatever.
Speaking of console wars, weird thing happened this past week. Multiple retailers, including Microsoft themselves, are silently selling the Xbox One Titanfall edition for $450 US.
So silently, they're not marketing it in any of
There's
their
no commercial that says $450.
not even local papers or
it's
inserts.
a sale, not a price drop.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So it's just temporary.
It's perceived to be temporary. What can we, as armchair pactors, take away from this?
Titanfall's not meeting sales expectations.
That's kind of how I feel is what is going on right now. Yeah.
Instead of doing a price cut to Titanfall the game, they know people need to buy an Xbox One to play it. They probably have seen, I'm going to assume, most people who have an Xbox One have probably bought Titanfall by this point. So the only new people are going to be able to buy it are people who don't have an Xbox One. So they're temporarily lowering that cost to jump in on that. That's if things made sense.
At least you own an Xbox One, correct?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I have Titanfall on PC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you
Correct
feel
choice.
cheated though? Like,
That I purchased it
if
like
you bought one for
3 months
$500,
ago.
yeah, for 3 months ago, and then bought Titanfall, like that's like $100 more than that you lost out on.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I guess like the thing is also when they came out with we're doing a Titanfall bundle, there was really no, like that was kind of a last minute thing almost.
It was very last minute. Yeah.
So I feel like people kind of maybe were like, oh, I would have gotten that bundle had I known.
Yeah.
You know, and
I'm sure there's a lot of people that bought Xbox One between Christmas
Yeah.
and that bundle announcement.
exclusively for Titanfall 2, and that felt kind of like a last dash effort to try to get sales, drum up sales for it. And my thing is the whole like, oh, Amazon accidentally had it for $50 cheaper. I've been wondering kind of if like these accidents, these prices are these price drops that 24 hours it's dropped in price and then they fix it. I'm like, is this just their kind of whisper campaign of like, oh, well, it'll drum up news that, oh, it's on sale. People will.
Right, and we kind of spread it ourselves. Just
Yeah,
like,
we
you can
do.
get it for $400 on Amazon right now, and then we all do it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
one morning happened. The Microsoft Store had like the weird 20% off. We were like, do we buy it? Do we buy it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like that's kind of a pretty good strategy.
Oh, that is kind of the weird thing too. Is a lot of these things that have been happening that like being glitches or whatever, and like people like
Yeah.
jump on them because they're not sure if it's gonna get fixed or it's really strange.
Is that intentional?
So, yeah, like that's kind of what I want to talk about because I think if there is a price cut to $450, I think there's a perception that goes along with that. And it feels weird. It feels like mentally, like people don't want to see a console get cheaper that quick.
Right.
No, it's.
I feel like there's a sort of stigma that goes with that.
Yeah. Well, it feels like desperation.
Right. And so
So
I think that might be the reason for
that's why
like
it's
these
a
kind of
sale,
like
yeah.
unofficial sales that like we kind of whisper about, but there's never a commercial about. What are you so
I mean,
uncertain
I
about?
could see that. I just kind of I'd rather hope that companies have been doing this for so long, being in the hardware business, that they would be able to adapt faster and be able to swallow their pride when, hey, our console isn't selling as much. And for whatever reason, if we lowered it by $50, we project it would sell this much more. I mean, recoup it isn't the old adage that like you take a hit on the hardware, you recoup it through software, like except for like Nintendo. Until recently, Nintendo was always the exception. Everyone else did that way. I would just like hope that if you saw your sales like just a little underperform. I mean, I don't know how much it's underperforming. I don't know what Microsoft's sales expectations were for the launch window for that quarter, but if they're just under, you cut the price by a little bit to get competitive. Because right now, there's no two ways about it. The PS4 is a superior technical machine for $100 less than Xbox One. The bundle, the Titanfall bundle, you got the game for the same price as the normal Xbox. You got the game for free. Now they want to change it under the radar or quiet or whatever the whispering thing to, hey, let's like make it $50 less and see like. Well, a lot of people jump on this. Is this like? Is that like insta buy for the average person? Where is that sweet spot? We don't want to go too low because then we're going to screw ourselves because then people expect it. But let's just dip down slowly and very subtly and see where people will bite on this.
Yeah.
And if it bites there and we like that, then let's make it official and let's get more consoles out there because more developers will be on board. I mean, you are one of the best-selling hardware for most of last generation, Xbox 360, at least the most popular in the mainstream. I think you still have a window there. Like Nintendo, we always like to do Doom on Nintendo discussion. Hopefully we don't get to that point with Microsoft. Like they still have this window to fix things if they react a little bit more swiftly.
Haven't you heard Nintendo's going to be around for another 50 years?
Oh, yes.
So
What are you referencing? What is that?
Oh, there's just some report that came out recently, like
Their money.
in like the UK Nintendo Gamer magazine, that like they've got enough money, like cash, like
Just to
value,
coast?
that if they wanted to stay around to like 2040,
Yeah, they could have like 3 or 4 more Wii U's fail.
they'd be fine.
Yeah, I think people should understand, at least here, or at least with me, the shorthand is when I say Nintendo Doom, it means Wii U Doom. Like
Sure.
Nintendo is by no means going anywhere anytime soon, just a Wii U. But Microsoft should be able to look at, hey, Nintendo had a lot of problems. They tried to do the price cut. They got a little bit of a bump. Like price cuts, people want to see that. I think last generation, all the systems were just so slow to adapt to that price change.
Yeah.
Like Wii was just selling so well, they didn't need to do it. PS3 was just way too overpriced at the beginning, and 360 was kind of in the middle. And then they finally did those revisions and price cuts.
Yeah, well, the PS3 price cut came fairly early. It was like mid 2007 that summer, right?
And that still wasn't like
It was
quite enough.
$100.
Yeah, it was
$100
huge,
price
but
cut,
it wasn't
yeah.
enough.
It was still $500.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's something where they probably should have started at that price. That was just a really big oversight on Sony's part.
So actually, I did want to talk about that second PS3 price drop because I feel like that was a shift in perception. Basically, they started out with those Kevin Butler commercials. They introduced this Kevin Butler. He's like, PS3 is cheap now. I think at that moment they also changed the logo.
From the Spider-Man font to the
Yeah.
And I think like from that moment forward, perception of the PS3 had shifted. You know what I mean? And I think those
games came out too.
end games. That's
Well,
you're right. That's the best point.
Well, yeah, I mean, as we're saying right now, I mean,
Yeah.
first year
Sorry.
of games is never
This is-
particularly great.
Yeah, they gotta figure out something to do with new hardware launches. Like every single system's just been like whiffing bad with this first year, this being like a drought. Like
Oh, games wise.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
ridiculous. They got like if they're gonna do this again, somebody needs to figure out something. Like you push this. I know there's always a race to be out first because it helps the chances that you're gonna secure the lead. But
look at all the things that
yeah.
have been delayed. I mean, people tried and are like, well, now we need more time, or this is just not going to go well.
That or-
Drive Club, it's,
yeah,
it's been delayed time and time again because, like, oh well, we want to actually make sure this game is good. Put a lot of time into it. It needs to be good.
And a really big reliance on indies to fill that gap that's existing.
yeah.
And they're lucky that they have them to do that.
I just wish that we had. I just remember the good old days where we had N64 launch with Super Mario
Right.
64.
And
Yeah,
Pilot
and
Wings.
then-
I want that.
And
and then
then what?
Shadows of the Empire. Star Wars Shadows of
I
the Empire.
dare you to play that right now. Shadows of
then
the
it was
Empire.
awesome.
Yeah, well, it's not awesome today.
That
There's
was
a
all- they had
lot of
Mario
I
Kart.
like that game, but there's a lot of people that
There was
thought it was crap.
okay. There was a drought, but if you look at then and now, like you had like Mario 64 and Wave Race 64 come out at launch, and Shadows of the Empire. Then in 1997 you had Mario Kart, you had Star Fox 64, you had GoldenEye 007, you had Diddy Kong Racing. I believe by the end of the year, in '98 you had There were so many good releases.
Zelda, I think in '98.
'98,
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Man, like they were all. I guess because I was younger, it seemed like such a long time. Like months was a long
Yeah.
time. Now it's like we've gone like half a year since like launch. We're gonna be going half a year, and all we got was Titanfall on Xbox One and Infamous Second Son on PlayStation 4. Enjoy.
Killzone.
Enjoy.
Both of those are better than Shadows of the Empire.
Not better than Mario 64. They're not better than Wave Race 64.
Well, nothing's better than
Not
Mario
better than
64.
Mario Kart. Mario Kart 64.
So I
Mario Kart
realized
64 is a while later.
I'm just
Anyways.
moderator, but maybe some of you had this feeling. Actually, last week was the first week where I felt like super happy to have the PS4 when I was playing Infamous and Ground Zeroes. Like that to me, that moment was finally like, okay, we're here. I feel good about this.
That was a big week for PS4.
Yeah. Blood, you felt the same way?
Dude, yeah, Platinum Infamous, so yeah.
He did. We should mention that Blood Platinum Infamous.
And it's only the second Platinum I've got, and the first one was the first Infamous.
Why are you not platinuming other games?
I don't know. I guess I just look at. Well, like, Uncharted is always like, oh, well, defeat this freaking thing 3 times,
Go into multiplayer, earn the highest possible rating.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
oh
not
my
that.
gosh.
It's
Yeah.
like you have to like beat all of these difficulty levels, but some of the difficulty levels like have to be unlocked first. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you want me to like play the game 3 times just
They
to
do.
get the platinum? And like, come on.
All right, interesting side conversation. At least, how many platinums have you ever seen in your? How many have you ever gotten?
Don't ask me this question,
Is it
Kyle.
0 or is
I'm
it
not
5?
good at video games.
Okay.
Can we establish that?
Platinum
So
has nothing to do with
Yeah,
being good
platinum
at
has
video
nothing
games.
to do with it. You just like it's just about putting
No,
time.
but I also only got a PS3 within the last 2 years.
Okay.
I'm
a lot
not.
of time to do platinums.
I'm not really hugely into
So-
PS3.
How many platinums do you have?
I don't know. The last one I did was Ni no Kuni.
You
I believe.
platinum
Really?
Oh, of course.
People
Oh,
don't
man.
finish Ni no Kuni.
You just got the
right.
most credit at the table. It all belongs
I
to
don't
you
think
now.
that was the only
That's
hard part.
pretty
Was
legit.
I
the
doesn't give him any
the
credit.
Pokemon part where you had to get like you had to get one unique type of each
Monster,
of
buddy.
the familiars. That's
yeah,
what they're
familiars.
called.
That is
Yeah.
a patience that I do not
That
have.
was
That's
not
all-
that was
that's all
not
platinum
fun.
takes is
That part
patience.
was
I
just
don't have
like
it.
everything else about that wasn't that too terrible for a JRPG.
Yeah.
Just that part was just like, oh, really?
I'm saying it was worth it because now you get to brag about it on a weird show on the internet. All of that effort was worth it to get to this point today.
But I can't remember. The last one I tried to do, but I just stopped, was Tales of Zillia.
You were going to play. Why do you do these RPGs?
Yeah, these are like.
Oh my god.
It's gotta have to be the JRPG cred at GT.
Yeah.
And now I have to really up my game.
Oh,
Because
Ben
Ben
Moore
Moore's
is
here.
coming
Ben
up
Moore's
on
got
you.
Ben Moore
Right,
takes
yeah.
Ben Moore takes offense every time I get a tweet by someone who goes, Damiani, as a resident GT JRPG guru, what would you tell me about this Atelier game series, blah, blah, blah. And then Ben will like come over to me and be like, why do they ask you this? Do they not know I work here? Do they not know I know more than JRPGs about you?
That's so
This
funny.
I am insulted.
Speaking of Ben, who is also, he is at least officially our resident Sonic fan. Can we all agree
Sonic.
on that? He is our
Sonic.
Sonic
Yeah,
fan.
he likes Sonic.
Gotta go
though.
fast.
This morning, a trailer out of nowhere came for
Oh,
Yeah.
Legend
yeah,
of Zelda DLC for
Yes.
Sonic the Hedgehog, The Lost
Which
Worlds, I
will
think it's
be
the name.
out
Yeah.
before you guys see this.
Yeah, it's
That's
out
right.
now. You can go.
Yeah.
It's
You
free.
can download it for free.
It's free.
That's free DLC.
You still gotta buy the game.
You still gotta buy the game.
That's how they get you.
So basically, I mean,
Well, that's a good way of doing it. It's like people haven't bought the game. Hey, we'll give them something cool.
all of us here have seen that trailer, right?
Yeah.
That's why like this enthusiasm coming across at this point probably makes no sense to anyone who hasn't seen the trailer.
Right.
I saw the headline and I said nope, and then it took a friend of mine to say you got to see this trailer. I'm like, what? Why? And it's like, oh my goodness.
Really? You were excited
Yeah.
for it?
Because they already had Yoshi's Yarn, and it was
Yeah.
2D level. And it
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, it's a Sonic level that looks like Yoshi. And then they went all out on this Zelda DLC. All right, Elise is the only one unexcited. Please explain, Elise,
just
where your lack
because-
of enthusiasm comes from.
For me, the appeal of a Sonic game is perpetual motion, perpetual propelling forward, fast, like frantic, and like this, it's heavy exploration, but not the kind of in-depth exploration that you can get from a Zelda. So it kind of feels like it's halfway Sonic, halfway Zelda. For me, like the two things that appeal to me most in either of those games aren't, met. And,
Oh yeah, it's
and-
kind of like how we felt about the stupid Dynasty Warriors Zelda.
Yeah.
Where it's just like,
Hyrule.
oh, these don't work. Yeah, Hyrule.
Like,
yeah.
it's sort of like, I appreciate it. It feels more for me like a Nintendo Land level where it's like, okay, I get that. I enjoy being in the world. I love this world. But like, I'm not getting the full experience of it. Sonic also, the best thing about Sonic is just feeling like you have this overwhelming momentum and you're just killing it and like, which you don't feel like doing this.
But he is wearing a Link costume.
He is wearing a Link costume, so I guess, yeah, I love it.
Cannot wait to see the cosplays of that.
I love it. But it is super cool to like see like Link flying by while you're,
I will say
doing
it's
stuff.
super cool to see him actually having a life bar instead of getting knocked
Yeah.
with all the rings popping out of him. I hate the ring
and
popping.
collecting rupees instead of rings is kind of cool. And
Basically, the weirdest thing to me is that it is free DLC. Seems so strange that Nintendo and Sega like made this weird agreement to do free DLC for this game. When else have we seen free DLC like this?
Well, I mean, I guess sometimes it depends on how you
Your
define
game
DLC.
doesn't-
I think
because
Yeah.
I mean, Killzone's all their new maps are free.
Yeah, but it does put me to
Titanfall's
sleep.
Yeah,
new
but
modes
I mean,
are all going to be
Titanfall's
free.
charging $10 for one of their map packs.
Yeah, but
Is
their
it
new
map
modes.
packs though? I don't know.
The new
other-
modes are free.
the
The
modes
map
are all
packs
free.
are $10.
Oh, I didn't know if they said that it
But
was maps
Killzone,
or
like
what.
everything multiplayer is free.
I think
And then what was the other one?
Does this feel like
Oh well, the infamous
Infamous
thing.
2, right?
That's like an episodic thing. I don't know if you consider
Oh,
that
right,
DLC
yeah, yeah.
or not.
No, I
but
guess I consider that
there's
DLC.
new content every week for the next 6
Oh,
weeks.
yeah.
I mean, like what they
missions.
showed is basically the level, right?
Yeah.
Like does that feel like big and expansive and like
But
Like-
I mean, they didn't show the whole level.
I thought they did.
I
It
doubt
does. It does feel
Oh.
big and expansive to me, and I guess just what's baffling is just like they're supporting this game that probably didn't sell very well.
Maybe that's why they're supporting it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. It's like they're finding another way to get people to
Yeah.
jump in on it. Yeah.
Damiani, will you play that level?
Probably. I don't own the game, so I'll just have to borrow the work copy.
I love
and play
that
it.
though, but here's a person who
But
would have never
I'm
played
not-
it.
So the only reason I'm playing it is for the sake of I just got to see what the hell they're doing with what
Yeah.
crazy crap. It's why I'll probably play it when we discuss Hyrule Warriors on Thanks for Playing.
Yeah.
You nailed it. That's exactly why I have any interest. It's just because it looks so ridiculously crazy.
Yeah.
And kind of stupid, honestly.
It looks way stupid.
No.
We should be clear. It looks very, very stupid.
It's cool that it's free, and they're trying to get people excited about a game that really undersold. From what I played, the game showed well at previews, but the controls in the final version I don't think were the best. But that aside, the problem is combining Hyrule Warriors and this. Nintendo's willing to just throw out Zelda to help sell things to give out there. Now I'm like really worried. I'm almost I'm at 99.9 to like the 100th power certain that Zelda is not coming out.
But you're announcing a new Zelda Thursday, right?
Oh yeah, we're announcing a new Zelda for iOS.
Who's we?
Yeah, Mike had a big Twitter announcement.
Yes.
That,
what?
Twitter exclusive.
What is it?
That there's a new game called Zelda Timeline.
Oh, okay.
For iOS, and it is the 4th timeline, and you play through. It's got the CDI games. It'll have Hyrule. You're paying for a season pass and everything on iOS. You'll get Hyrule Warriors iOS.
No, we should be clear. If you're like trolling me or not right now, what are you doing?
We were just messing around.
Yeah.
Stop that. Why would you? You had me going for so long because that's actually a good idea. You should make an app.
A 4th timeline.
You should do that.
It's just the crossover timeline.
Oh my gosh.
Where shit crosses over with everything. So. Sonic DLC takes place after Skyward Sword,
No, it doesn't.
but before Hyrule Warriors.
It takes place in Zero Worlds. I can't believe you even had me for like 2 seconds.
Sorry, God.
So wrong.
So, I guess speaking of reputations and Damiani's reputation for being a master troll. Look how he just stares. That's my smoothest possible transition into this weird thing, the Xbox reputation system. Being revealed just recently.
So the Xbox reputation is a master troll.
Your Xbox reputation right now would be needs work.
Needs work?
Yeah.
That was a good troll.
That is actually word for word what the medium ranking is.
That's fine for me because, Xbox systems, all of them, they can need work. When I have to pay for subscribe to Gold to use anything on that system, that's needs work. That's the needs improvement on a report card right there.
Mm-hmm. So let me clarify the three classifications of a new Xbox reputation level.
Okay.
Good player. Everyone starts off at good player.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you're skilled good or that you're a good sport?
It means you're a kind person.
Yeah.
Okay.
You behave very well.
All right.
You don't cause any trouble.
I thought they were gonna make you play through like Revengeance.
You've not made anybody
and
cry.
if you suck at Revengeance, you get whatever the
fun.
lowest one
No.
is. All right.
Good player. You're an Elise.
I
Then
don't know.
there's needs work. You're Damiani's.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like a yellowish greenish. And
What's the worst?
The worst is avoid me, which is red.
I think you'd want the avoid me because like, dude, I'm such a badass.
No, but then eventually
you
you
don't want to come near me.
Eventually
I'm, like,
you can
so
get
good.
penalized, and you can't go on Twitch.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you can't go on Twitch?
Avoid me,
Oh,
you can go
everything's
on Twitch.
What? What is this crap?
No. Okay, so
Actually, they should do
let's
that.
use their words just to be very clear. People with an avoid me rating will have reduced matchmaking pairings and may be unable to use certain privileges such as Twitch broadcasting.
That's good for them because then they'll make them go and get like something other than an Xbox.
The master trolls. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bump you down to avoid me.
Somebody
Master
else
Race.
said that though too. It's like, well, if you get reduced to avoid me, you're just gonna not renew your subscription.
Yeah, that is insane to say. Even that may be. I doubt it'll ever come to this. You don't get to do this thing that you're paying for.
Right.
Is insane.
So is this all peer review?
Yes.
That like
Yeah.
people can do it?
Yep.
So
But
if
they
people
say
are
that
like,
they're going to have ways to keep people from abusing it.
abusing
it. Yeah.
And I don't know how that works.
like if
like
you're really
moderator.
good and people just want to knock you down, or
You would have to work really hard to get down to avoid me, I think.
Like you're doing a Twitch stream and everyone just hates you, so they log on their Xbox One accounts and go, "This guy sucks.
Yeah.
Avoid him."
And you would have to do
Avoid
that
him
for
because he's
months.
terrible.
yeah,
You'd have to do that.
it's for a very extended period of time, right?
Yeah.
Not just like 2 weeks of you acting like an asshole.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
have to be a month of that.
All right.
Yeah, I just want. Yeah, I'm skeptical of like how they're actually keeping on top of that kind of thing because, it's one thing like when you're on a forum and like a bunch of people report somebody and like you're a moderator and you're looking like, oh yeah, that guy's a racist and like give him a temp ban or something, but like.
is this too?
It's not like Microsoft like is recording all of our game sessions that we know of.
you
To
mean the audio?
review voice chat and stuff.
Is this too Big Brother though? Like,
It's a little Big Brother. Well, Big Brother isn't peer review. That's the weird part, is that it's us policing each other?
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know. I don't like nice people online.
Did anyone really even use the freaking Xbox 360's star rating ever? Remember, you could get like your star ranking.
Oh, they did have a reputation on 360 as well.
I don't think very many people use that. I don't think anyone really cared.
I mean, people generally will just block somebody.
That's the thing, is basically...
Or mute them.
You're a lot more likely to say, I did not like this person, than, hey, I really like this person. I think if you do start to go down, it's really hard to get back up.
Yeah, it's like when you buy crap online, like from Amazon or eBay. It's like, when they did a good job, you're like, and they give you the reminder to leave feedback. Cool, you did your job. Thanks. A+. Very fast shipping. Cool. And then when you don't get your shit or it's broken, you're like, all right, what's up? Where do I contact chat support right now? I want my replacement sent. And this person, they're like evil and stuff because how dare they send me something, a collector's edition box, the little ding in the corner. I paid good money for this, $250.
So hold on, I am curious now. When was the last time you left a negative rating on Amazon?
On Amazon?
Yeah.
I haven't never left a negative rating because I use Prime and I mostly buy stuff through Amazon. My experience with them actually, this is an endorsement of Amazon, but the 2 times I've had issues with shipment, one was they said it couldn't be delivered. The other, it was the Hobbit Unexpected Journey Blu-ray. Like the inside was kind of like crushed, so like the kind of disc tray was like snapped off, so you couldn't. Was damaged. Both times I just got on their little chat thing within 5 minutes, like, oh, here's a replacement. Just we'll send you a package to mail it back. And the other one was undelivered. They were like, oh, we'll ship you out another one. But I was like, oh, the price is more expensive now. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll give you the old price. Don't worry. I'm like, cool.
Sounds like an endorsement.
But buying from a different user, like I can tell you about eBay, there's been shit with that.
Give me one good story. Before we move on, I want to hear one good eBay story of like you left just the...
Oh yeah, the best one was I tried buying Zelda's Adventure for the CDI back at the time. I mean, I don't follow it anymore, how much it costs on eBay. Back when I was interested in acquiring one, they were like $200 to $300. And I bought one, and it was someone had either burnt it or it was a damaged copy because when you got to a certain point, it would freeze when it tried to load the next screen. You couldn't get past it. Didn't look like it was scratched, and I asked them, and they're like, no, it's okay. So I got a little annoyed, tried to get my money back, and like they wouldn't do it because they're like, no, I shipped it to you. Like, it's legit. Like, I don't know what happened, blah, blah. So I didn't like win that dispute or something. Or I didn't do it right, basically, because I was new to the experience. So I got screwed out of that. So then I tried selling it away because like, well, whatever. If it's a good copy, then I'll just sell it back to someone. Then that person got angry at me. But they
did.
You rotten person.
And then,
You keep passing on this cursed game.
And then I used that money to buy a real copy.
Oh.
That is unbelievable.
Wow.
So someone out there
The other
has...
person was like, I live on a military base, and I know like military people are gonna come after you and stuff if you don't give me my refund.
Oh my gosh.
What?
So then I got a hold of eBay and I was like, listen, this is what happened and shit. Like, can you do something? So they actually went back and go, ship us the game. We'll take a look at it. So they actually did get it back and go, yeah, this is a bootleg copy.
Okay.
Cool.
We'll go back to the original seller. We tracked it. Like, we will get a refund for you, and we're gonna hold on to this game because it's like illegal property or something.
What happened to the guy at the military base? Did he get his
Oh,
money
they
back
got
too?
I give them they got their like money back. Once they told me it was like bootleg and stuff, I was like, all right, like I wasn't sure and stuff. Like I thought maybe my system was broken. Like
No, you
it
didn't.
was.
You didn't think that.
I mean, I thought it was something was wrong with it, but like it could have been my system. Like, I wasn't
I guess.
100% sure. Who the hell has a ROM of fucking the CDI Zelda's Adventure lying
Well,
around?
if I
Who
could
burned
sell
it?
it for $200 or $300, I'm gonna make.
I'm
ROMs
sure.
of that.
Yeah, that's probably right. Someone figured
Yeah.
that, but I was like, how did you get one in the first place? How do you even know how to like rip it and whatever? It was at the time it was beyond me how you could like do that for such a dead system. But it ended up working out, and I learned like, all right, next time you should just like actually just take a few minutes and actually do the actual process. You know, it sucks. Fill out the little stupid online form and submit your shit, and then mail them the stuff, and they usually side with you if you're like the buyer.
I
They're
loved
usually nice.
this edition of Damiani story time. That was a good story.
eBay, son.
eBay. So you endorse eBay as well, is what I'm learning.
What?
You're
No.
endorsing all these companies.
I
can't
use
believe
Amazon. I have to use Amazon eBay to buy all this stuff for like timeline and pop fiction
Cool.
and streaming stuff. It's fun.
So it is now time to settle all bets.
All belts.
Should I just redo that?
Reset.
Reset, okay. And so it is now time at the end of the show to settle all of our bets. If you're watching this visually, you may have noticed I'm wearing an orange hat. That is because Bravely Default made it onto the February NPDs. And Damiani said it never would. Do you want to know my secret research method for that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just pulling up a text message from Reggie right now saying that was a mistake in the MPD.
Okay, what does Reggie say word for
He
word?
said, I just watched the GT Time episode with you and Kyle Bosman making a bet about
Of course.
Bravely Default.
He is a fan.
I know fans of Bravely Default were really excited
some login
about
from
the
Ryan.
200,000 sales data
Lovely.
we had released. Unfortunately, that was just the shipped amount. The sell-through amount was unfortunately
Can
not that
perfectly
much.
read this without
XO,
looking.
XO, Reggie.
So, the way I knew about this is that when I was going to GameStop, they were like, do you have a pre-order? And I said, hi, I'm here to pick up Bravely Default. Can you have pre-order? I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay, this is our last one. Like it's my fault for coming in and pre-ordering it. But that's just
That's
that
GameStop.
that time alone was why I was sure that like it would get on the NPDs. I know it just
You're
made
flawed.
it. I am flawed.
There's
not
two
a
mistakes
good-
with that. That's
Okay.
that's VG charts methods. Sorry, VG charts, but you guys have been like called out too many times by
They know.
by
VG
Gap.
Charts knows they're garbage.
You're
They know.
semi-useful for that type of stuff. I'm glad you've changed and whatever.
Yeah.
But two, they might have only sent like 1 or 2 copies to that store. Like you're only getting 2 copies. So that
Yeah.
store sold out of 2 copies. That means
I
we
went-
sold 200,000.
Hey man, I won the bet. Look how you pointing at me and telling me I'm wrong.
Because you won this
Hilarious.
battle, I will win the war.
Anyways, speaking of GameStop and shipping, when
Yeah.
I had to pick up Never Dead
Okay, last
for the
year.
review because they
Yeah.
hadn't sent it to us before release date. Yeah, the GameStop I went to said that. Yeah, all the stores we got 1 copy for each system. That's all.
Never Dead. One copy of Never Dead.
Free.
Wow.
It happens.
No pre-orders.
I do want to say another thing about this.
They didn't
though.
put them on the shelf. They just had them in the back room.
With Bravely Default getting on the NPDs and ranking number 10, Square Enix actually officially said that it sold more than Lightning Returns. And so what that means is basically we're talking about the growing irrelevance of the NPDs because like once you add in digital sales, Bravely Default surpassed Lightning Returns. Like how long are we honestly going to care about NPDs?
Well, we kind of have it for a while.
Ever since they stopped giving out the real numbers, just over time, just the importance of that's just been diminishing.
At least what like with this your arm span, how much do you care about NPDs? Whoa.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
For people listening, that was less than an inch.
I'm pretty much entirely pro digital age though. So I'm.
Wait, how many? So like over the course of the last month, how many games have you
'cause
downloaded?
Titanfall.
Wow. I guess everyone on PC downloaded.
Persona 3, which I've been playing and I love and is excellent.
Cool.
I did get it. Well, I gameflied something recently, so I did get a disc-based game.
But not a lot of like going to a store and buying games anymore. Is what you're saying,
I mean,
yeah.
between GameFly and like downloading stuff and borrowing stuff from here, I never buy physical games. But I mean, maybe if I didn't work here,
Oh man, like I downloaded Zelda Wind Waker because like they were like, hey, it's early. You can download it early right now, and I'm like, okay, well here it is.
Right.
Here's my money. Damiani, it should be said, the reason he's scowling at me right now, if you're listening, it's another scowl. He owns a physical copy of every single Zelda game. I assume is what that look is for.
No, the fact that you bought the Wind Waker.
Oh.
No, wait. No, I have a serious thing. Wait, real quick. You
What?
said Bravely Default sold not more than Lightning Returns. I know you said that part, but
Yeah.
you said because they didn't include digital sales, and you said Square Enix, right?
Yeah.
Didn't Nintendo publish that game here? So and Nintendo released the sales.
Yeah, well,
And
Square
Nintendo
Enix,
includes
Square
all
Enix still
versions?
knows how much it sold.
Are you talking about worldwide?
I
including?
guess I don't know. Their
Because
release
if it
was
was just US, Nintendo includes everything, which means that number was the final number, Kyle Bosman.
what?
Which
Damiani,
means
I
who
won
are your
my bet.
sources?
I won my bet.
Who are your sources?
I have no idea who my sources are. I'll just move on.
There you go.
I think like
that's just bitterness.
that's just bitterness, man. You're just so mad I'm wearing this hat. I'll take the hat off for the rest of the episode if you. No, I'm keeping it on. Another bet we got to settle. The reason why Bloodworth was always correct 100% of the time, Daniel Bloodworth, is that I last Friday spent 1 hour building a Little Big Planet level. The challenge was if I could build a level on a whim or not. And Ian played the completed level. The impartial judge gave it a 4 out of 10.
Ian's a pretentious asshole, though. Why would you pick Ian to play it?
Ian was the only one willing to play.
He'll tell you.
Update.
He'll tell you the same
Drama.
thing. He'll tell you this exact same thing.
Yeah.
Did you build a level in Dark Souls 2?
No, I didn't.
Well, then he's not
no.
gonna. I mean, yeah.
No, I mean it was to be fair, I think a 4 out of 10 is a pretty good score for the level I produced.
What was your level like?
It was based off the word science, is the word that Bloodworth gave me, and it was pretty simple, to be honest, not complicated puzzles. Actually, I think we're putting that in Thanks for Playing, if you're curious to watch the whole thing go down.
man.
Wait,
I
it's
wanna
playing
see
Thanks
it.
for Playing now? Why
Yep.
is it not on this?
This is a podcast that you can listen to on your car.
People might not be able to see it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
You can
But
put up a separate video.
there's also
What?
an interesting caveat about this. If it was strictly just an hour from the moment he tried to start the game,
No.
why don't you tell him about what happened when
It
he
was 1 hour of updates.
on a whim
Yeah.
means you didn't update your game, so there's a
I
lot
put in
of
Little Big
updates.
Planet 2 and there was an hour of
Oh.
updates. It was so sad. So let's do our big bet for next week.
All right.
All right, everybody, get ready. According to Box Office Mojo, after its second week at the box office, Need for Speed has only accumulated $33.6 million despite a purported $60 million budget. At the time of recording next week, what will that total be?
Who's starting?
Since Elise is our guest, she can guess last. So I'll start. All right, my guess, 39.1 million.
Are these Prices Right rules?
Nope.
So what is that right now again?
33.
33 exact.
Mm-hmm.
36.5 million.
Well, Kyle took mine, so I guess I'll do 38.
Nice.
I think this movie will make $7 million more dollars. So I'll just do 40 million. I was thinking, I'm like, it can do 12 million maybe,
Do you want to
depending.
do 40.6?
Yeah, I mean, oh, jeez. I'm thinking international
Need-
markets.
40.
Need for Speed is not worth this much stress.
It's not.
40.9.
I'll do just 40, I
Straight
guess.
40, we're locking it in.
Yeah.
Lock it in. We got sound effects now.
Okay.
No, we don't. Honestly don't think the editor will give me anything there.
We need a bigger budget.
But anyway, results of last week's bet. Man, we got a lot of bets to cover. I like how it starts side
What was the last?
conversations,
I
at
don't even remember last week's bet.
least. Percentage of people who had finished Ground Zeroes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember what I guessed. So enlighten us.
Okay, Damiani guessed 66% of people had finished Ground Zeroes on PlayStation 4. Bloodworth guessed 68. Brandon Jones guessed 79. You're responsible for his bets. And I guessed 60%. Actual result, number of people who finished Ground Zeroes, 56.1%.
Ooh.
I'm the winner this week.
Nice. Going
Nice.
down.
So
That
how
means-
does that 100% thing make sense?
What 100% thing?
Apparently I'm 100% right, but now I'm wrong.
Well, not anymore. Yeah, end of the episode, you're not 100% right.
We're at
That title goes away.
86.2% right.
Here's the scary thing. The trophy for reuniting with Chico or Paz, 70.2%. Meaning, let's say that game sold 100,000. There's at least 14,000 people who found Chico and then said, that's good, goodbye game. They spent at least $20 or $30 on that game and they're just like, oh, well, 45 minutes is enough. Goodbye. Good night.
Maybe they're just not done yet.
You know what? Is it so?
not done
Wait, this is just which percentage? This is for the PS4 version, right?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, yeah, so it is at least 30.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What are you doing? Finish the game. Go and finish it.
Jeez.
Sheesh is the last word. Anyway, as winner of the bet, I do get to close the show, so I guess I'll look into this camera. Everyone, thank you for watching. Please leave comments below if you have something to say about the show, positive or negative, or neutral. If you just want to say meh, go ahead. Thank you for listening if you're watching the podcast and listening to the podcast. And we hope to see you next week. Elise, thanks for hopping in. Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me. This is fun.
Yeah.
So much better than this.
Stop it.
Oh.
Where?
I never seen Sailor Moon.
That we know of.